Ah, whoa.
Damn it, you piece of crap. Come back on already. Can you hear me? Cappy fried my transmission systems. Thought I lost you for a moment. Well, it all worked out, didn't it? The gateway got you out, and it looks like the ARC device is still intact with all the data it's recorded from your drive. And my plan worked. Cappy amplified the car signal and it matches. Looks like Tobias and Francis found their remnant after all. Unfortunately, what they've been saying is true. The remnants drive their victims mad. Maybe that car, having sat dormant for this long, will give you a little more time. Sorry, I don't have better news for you. I'm still game to get you out of here. The faster you leave, the longer you'll have to enjoy the rest of your sanity.
Yeah, that's real.
None of the routes you've mapped so far leads to a way out. Why don't you head back out and chart some more? You can get in touch with Tobias and Francis while you're out there.
Another drive, eh? Well, I don't know. This was...
Have you found the friendly dumpster yet? It's behind the shop. If you're ever in dire need, pay it a visit. As much as the zone takes away, sometimes she also provides.
Yeah, well... The zone itself seems to be... Oh, wait a minute. Suppose I had to store these somewhere else. How do I was gonna say, how do I see inside this thing without transferring stuff? Alright. Hold on a minute. What's this here? The paint shelf. Yeah, I collected a few paints here. Suppose I could put them over here. I got orange, off-white, and brown, it looks like. And what's in the friendly dumpster? Okay, there's some repair putty, some plastic, and a couple of crude things. Do I even want crude stuff? I've got a steel door. I had to charge this car up, just... I know how much I use my headlights. I had no idea it would be so hard on things. Okay, there's nothing in the transfer trunk. There's nothing more I can research here. That's interesting. Is it possible that I need to well, is it possible that I need to collect like arc energy in order to research stuff? Like it comes at a cost? You know, that might be a way to, go about doing things. Here, let me stow this crude panel away somewhere. I mean, I don't really need to replace anything right now. And I'm certainly not going to replace a steel door that I can repair with a crude door. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to equip the repair putty. And I might as well patch myself up this extra 3%. Nothing too bad, but... Oh, activate the driver's checklist, the status monitor. Repair the car and fill the tank. My car is at 76% capacity. This headlight is really starting to fall apart there. And still at 76. Okay, well... Now I'm up to 82. Fill this tank. There we go. Now what else about this car needs to be fixed? I noticed this thing's on a donut. Can I make a proper, like a real tire, albeit a summer tire? Well, apparently not. Well, I got a few things in my logbook. If I can just, there we go. Like charging the car battery. I did have a battery jumper, but I was starting to run low there. Charting roads. The route planner displays the junctions, currently stable. I think we saw that. Some routes will pass through multiple junctions. We saw that too. And you can scan many unusual things you encounter and fill out your logbook, which I've been doing. And if I make it through the gateway, then, well... Okay, what about this thing? SR meeting minutes. Number 2. November 18th, 1949, as opposed to September 16th, 1949. The agenda now is how best to classify and store SR equipment and journals, suitable social clubs for meetings that will not exclude Dr. Ophelia Turner, rising concerns, the SRR lacks formal structure, country clubs, academies, golf venues, etc. off limits to Dr. Ophelia Turner, really? Action items, Dr. Ophelia Turner shall be responsible for storing and maintaining SRR equipment. Dr. Reginald Stanley Robinson shall be responsible for taking and record keeping. And AOB, whatever that is, local cider tasting currency of Dr. Henry F.W. Milligan. And then there's the paints I've picked up. Burnt orange, or brown, Pacific brown, as opposed to, say, Atlantic brown. And off-white. Yeah, dull as dishwater. As for my tools, I picked up a flare gun. In here I found the paint shelf and the status monitor. New material, this thermostat crystal. The tolerance this artificially grown crystalline substance has for extreme temperatures and sustained stress is extraordinary. It suggests all manner of mechanical applications. And now we get to the juicy stuff. The hurricane squall which I passed through. A sudden and dramatic change in atmospheric pressure has produced powerful but extremely localized winds. Be careful, this could be extremely dangerous. Explains why I lost control of that dang car for a while. Broken Bunny. Memo FAO Dr. Lopez, December 10th, 1965. I don't like this. I feel like an experiment. That's what I feel like. Like someone playing with me. Maybe to learn about me. Maybe just in the way you see a raccoon try everything it can to get into a trash can. What would that be? Is this a response to the experiments I'm performing? Am I interesting? Am I a snack? These dang things chase me and they leap on cars or the field equipment we've set up, and it's like they're playing. Please, Anna, tell me you're feeling the same way. Tell me you're seeing this. Nothing in nature is random. Evolution means that things in our world have a function. They have purpose. What is the purpose of these things? What are they trying to do? And are things in the zone evolving? Finally, hot dust. From Dr. A.F. Kingi, Private Field Notes. At present, the majority of radiation detected in the zone can be categorized as beta particles or gamma rays, behaving almost exactly as we would expect Nevertheless, further study will still be required to explain the origin and highly variable intensity of this radiation, which is unlike anything previously documented. One particular kind of radiation frequently manifests as a highly localized phenomenon with no apparent source or focus, and often displays changes and modes of behavior more consistent with cloud patterns. These radiation microclimates are increasingly common and vary in intensity from relatively weak to extremely concentrated. We've tried to discourage the use of the phrase, but local contractors have already taken to using the phrase hot dust to describe this unusual anomaly. While further study is obviously warranted, the extremely unpredictable activity and spontaneous appearance of this radiation has made examination extremely difficult. It is not currently a priority. Is there anything I missed? No. Okay. A full service stop. Dr. Francis Cook, September 30th, 1961. It's been quite some time since I last wrote in my journal, and I'm beginning to wonder how wise it is to keep a written record. So much has happened these last few months, and ARDA has become even more strict. Not only have they issued yet more directives about information sharing and report confidentiality, they've been particularly paranoid when it comes to monitoring our day-to-day conversations, or what they're now calling gossip. They've also canceled several projects. After a series of strange events recently, including those hallucinations and manifestations that we're not even supposed to talk about, they've been chopping and changing all over the place. And where they aren't cutting projects, they're certainly cutting budgets. We now have 2 working prototypes of the regenerative shelters that combine both inductive charging and stable projected regenerative electromagnetic fields. But we no longer have the money to buy new test materials or even replace the coils when they burn out. How are we supposed to demonstrate how well these things work when we can't even afford to run them? And I've tried reaching out to Dr. Turner's office, but I keep getting these cryptic responses about how she's temporarily reassigned. But to where? What is going on? There's a gas station. It's free fuel. Pneumatic deposit box. They're called pneumatubes. And they're low tech. And I guess they just sort of pop up here and there. Finally, this tow truck. Unknown date. Broken down. Of course you've broken down. Do you need me to recap? We've had our doors stolen by one of those floating things. We've had our battery drained by one of those bouncing things. We've had our wheels ruined by one of those spiky things. We were dragged into a tree by one of those other things. So yes, we have broken down. Don't act so surprised. Are we the first ever people to break down out here? Why do you think you exist? Why do you think we even gave you that truck? You know what? You're not fast enough. And what? Another job? Who? We broke down first. And this was the second trip we took. We didn't get any arc energy, but I wasn't aware that we needed to pick any up. The car was mostly hurt by bumping into stuff, but there was also radiation. I myself got a bit cooked and a bit sparked, apparently, but both of us seemed to make it out fine. Actually, sorry, this is the second trip. I seem to have learned 101 anomalies. All the damage I took was from radiation. What is this thing? I remember running into a tourist. Maybe that's what that is. Well, anyway. This door, it's a crude door. How are my crude doors holding up? I mean, I'm not going to replace the steel door, but all 3 of these. Well, this one's not exactly in the best of shape, but it's not exactly in the worst of shape either. I'm going to have to stow this too. Assuming I can fit it. I'll put it here. Where have I been putting these notes? Well, I can put this one here. Just for the sake of putting it somewhere. don't have my repair putty on me. And where's he at? I can't seem to... Oh, wait a minute. I've got crude panels in my locker. Maybe I can replace this one. I'll just pull it off there with one of the ones in my locker. Just have to drop this here. Okay, that's, I suppose, marginally better anyway. Double the problem when the one that I have in there now is in even worse condition. Although, that's a steel panel. So it's a bit more worth it to use some repair putty and patch it up. Is that what I did with those other meeting notes? I honestly thought I'd put them in here. Alright, 91's not a percent isn't really ideal, but it's good enough for my purposes anyway. There's a car out here. Shame I can't just take the summer tire off of this car. Yeah, if I took it off of that car, I can put it on my car and replace that spare tire. Eventually I'm gonna have to replace that spare tire. I'm also a little bit concerned about the windshield of my car. I mean, it's not in tip-top shape, is it? Is there something I can craft? Mechanics kit, sealing kit, that's for tires. Some of this stuff I guess I'm just gonna have to live with. Wait. Yeah, well, that crude panel, even if... I don't think I'll be able to put... Oh, even... Hold on a second. I wonder if it's possible to take some steel plates from here. Well, I don't want to take all of them. I was going to make another steel panel and replace this and keep it with me just in case I need to replace that panel. And there's that spare tire. Oh well, I got a spare tire in my trunk already. Don't want to take up unnecessary space with a panel. Okay. What is happening in E1? Extreme conditions. Alright, I'm not going there again. But how about here? Spark surge? I get the distinct impression that I'm going to have to avoid spark towers this go-round. But I suppose my main priority right now is to get out of this zone as fast as I can.